Good?
Good.
Toastmaster Kevin Fun, conflict resolver. Conflict resolver, Toastmaster Kevin Fun. The stage is yours.
Before I start, bawa ya, bawa. Timer ready? Actually, I'm not ready. I'll try my best. Every person has its own ideas and opinions. Each ideas and opinions is distinguished from each other. I believe each one of you here has the great ideas on how to build a great Toastmasters Club meetings. But sometimes people tend to have a dispute over some ideas. Debate about whose idea is the best and whose idea can give the optimal solution to solve a problem. A different perspective can build up a conflict. It can lead to a bitter situation or relationship between people. My fellow Toastmasters and guests, every person has the same perspective about those how to resolve the conflict, because they don't want any conflict with their friends, co-worker, or even their family. They try to avoid it at all. And so how do we try to avoid the conflict, or how to resolve the conflict? Let me share with you a study case so you can understand it easier. I will play my role. I'm playing a role as the president or club president of a Toastmasters club. No, for second time now. Okay, so my club starting to get the attendance getting lesser and lesser by each meeting. So I wonder, why is it happening? What is the problem? So I'm starting to think about, my first step is to gather my executive committees, especially the VPE, VPM, and VPPR. So these are their jobs and responsibilities, as you can see in the slide, so you can understand what are those roles in executive committee. So I like to have a one-on-one session with them to ask them about an open-ended question. How do you feel about our last couple meetings? What do you think that we can do better? And what kind of any challenges or the concerns that you have during your role as these three roles? Because I wanted them to have an idea on how to solve this problem together with me as the president. So I'm starting to listen. I'm starting to listen actively to their answers, because based on their answers, I can get maybe the root cause of the conflict, what is happening to our club. So I'm starting to ask a question to them, and with the active listening is one of the most important steps in resolving a conflict. So I listen to the answers. Toastmasters Mario, please help me to read the concerns that delivered by VPE.
I prepared all the ideas.
Sorry.
I prepared all the ideas on how to arrange the meeting. I don't have time to focus on asking people to come to our meeting. PPM should take care of that and invite more people. PPR's person design is also of the same in every meeting, not in private.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mario. Toastmaster Winadi, could you please help me to read the VPM concern?
I always try so hard inviting members and guests for the meeting, but I think the meeting is not quite innovative or new things that can attract members to stay.
Enda, could you please help me read the VPPR concern?
I think my jobs and responsibilities are clear. I only focus on how to make an attractive poster or videos. Then the rest is in the hand of VPE and VPM to attract the guests.
Thank you, Enda and Toastmaster Winadi. Based on those answers, I come to a conclusion that they are not having a good communication and coordination. They are lack of that. So, because of that, these kind of things happen. And how my next step to resolve this is that I gather all of them once again, because previously this one is on one-on-one session, right? So this time I want to gather all of them in one meeting, because I like to have them to discuss about the solution to overcome this conflict. So I need them and I ask them again, I remind them again about the importance of communication and coordination between each other, because without that, this kind of thing will happen again in the future. So I ask them to communicate and coordinate with each other in order to achieve the goal together. So I told the VPE, you need to share your meeting arrangement with VPM and VPPR. You need to share the meeting theme, the word of the day, how many sessions you are going to have, what kind of sessions are you going to have. All of the information, share it with the VPM and VPPR. You can also share your ideas to VPPR about the posters design. And you, VPM, you need to ask or follow up to the VP about the meeting arrangement, because you need something to talk about with the members and guests. How are you going to invite them and encourage them if you don't know the meeting arrangement by VPE? Next, the VPPR. You also need to follow up to the VPE for the meeting arrangement, because you need to know the theme, the word of the day, because if you don't know that, how are you going to make the poster and how to make it attractively? And you can also, if you blank of the idea for the posters, you can ask other experts to give you the ideas. Don't hesitate to ask. Based on those directions for me, for them, I hope that between how to provide a good quality meeting and to invite more people to come to the meeting, they need to do it together. And because we cannot just provide a good quality meeting and then no one join the meeting. And we can ask people come and then we executed the meeting so poorly. So we need to do it together to have a good quality meeting and also invite people to come to join our meeting, because people need to see what kind of quality meeting is. So my fellow Toastmasters members and guests, everyone has its ideas to solve a conflict, and we need to start listening actively to their concerns, because by doing that we know the root cause of the problem and we can build and brainstorm some ideas to solve the conflict. I think that's all from me. Thank you very much. Back to Tom.